Are you tired of audiophile grade headphones and earbuds that take things so seriously at times that they end up sounding stiff or way too clinical and boring at the same time? Well, do I have good news for you today, guys, because I think I may have found an IEM that blends serious audio chops with some low-end fun thrown in just for good measure, and all in a beautifully crafted shell that needs to be held and seen to truly behold. This is the ThieAudio Hype 2. It's here. You're here. What are we waiting for? Let's find out if this thing is truly dope or nope after these messages. This ThieAudio Hype 2 retails for $300 and it comes in two different colorways. I picked this color because, just look at it. It looks amazing, has a nice contrast between the silver cable and the resin casing, and there's a slight sparkle in the light as well, and it feels really great in the hand. This thing is built solidly, and even though it's a slightly on the bulkier side, 36 grams altogether for the cable and the IEM itself, it spreads its weight out really well in your ears. 4 drivers per side, and sorry to be a little bit technical here, it's comprised of 2 Sonyon balance armatures. One is the E25ST and the other is the 2356 for what it's worth. Plus, they also have 2 10mm dynamic drivers, which is really ThieAudio's take on a subwoofer solution. It's really cool, guys. It's called Impact Square, and the 2 dynamic drivers are stacked isobarically. So one benefit of that is the arrangement. It's very compact in size, and the other plus is, as long as the drivers are matched, the pressure produced by both drivers will be constant, basically working as one. 26 ohm resistance at 108 decibels sensitivity, which means these buds are extremely easy to drive even on a phone. Let me remove the ear tips right here. You can see the really large or long sound port. It's a really wide opening right there, protected by a metal mesh grill. Come on, focus a little bit. There you go. And slipping on the ear tips are super fast too. You hear that click and it's really done. The cable itself is also extremely nice. It's a silver plated OCC cable. There's no indicator for left and right, but it is color coded. Let me see if I can show you. See, it's red for the right, of course. And check that out. The pin placement or the port is recessed to protect or stiffen up the connection a little bit. Really nice right there. And there's also at the bottom here of the, let me show you, where did it go? Okay, right here, there is a exit port or a venting port right there to help with balance, or the bass especially. This cable is really nice, guys. Check out the cable tensioner right there, and also the ending point right here is a 3.5. Check that out. It's really nice in it. The case that's included with the Hype 2 is honestly kind of plain Jane. It's boring, but at least it's thin and compact. There's a carabiner loop on the outside here. The zipper is really nice and smooth, and the inside, it's felt lined to protect your precious Hype 2, and there's an elastic pocket right here. And here I'm storing all the selection of ear tips that it comes included with. There's 6 altogether, 3 silicone and 3 foam tips. Not the widest selection, especially for the price you're paying. Let's talk SQ, because, these are earphones first and foremost. We'll talk about other things later on. So ThieAudio set these IEMs up as a shallow U, and here it is on the screen if you want to see what the sound signature looks like. And also, just for fun, I threw in the Hype 2's $1,000 sibling, the Monarch Mark III, shown in green here. And the profile similarities are so identical between the two, aside from the steeper drop-off at the tail end by the cheaper Hype 2. And that isn't a coincidence, guys, because some things like the Impact Square tech were trickled down from the higher-end model down. So you can say also that it makes the Hype 2 a budget Mark III in this case. Now, breaking down that chart into the real world, I'll tell you what, guys, the Hype 2 will bass drop all day. Like bass resonance from, say, piano key strikes, or like the bass hum in Chris Jones's No Sanctuary here is confident and has plenty of cojones. You know what I'm saying? On the other hand, treble extension plus things like sibilant S's can be a little bit too bright for some users, like myself. I think it might be caused by the timbre from the balance armatures, or maybe I just need to experiment with the included ear tips a little bit more. But apart from that, treble is composed and smooth. And I think these IEMs also favor tenor, baritone, and bass voices. So somebody like Elvis or Adele are the bee's knees, while folks like Chris Martin or Justin Timberlake or Cyndi Lauper, they border on kind of being shrill at the upper end. But again, I think it's the BAs, or maybe I just need to play around with the ear tips. But regardless, as a whole, vocal articulation is bloody fantastic no matter how you look at it. And I'd say its positioning lies somewhere between my eyeballs. It's not in the middle of the head, but right here. For example, Ladysmith Black Mambazo doing Homeless is a great example of how good the Hype 2 is at immersing you with energetic details of each of the vocalists. Sound staging is impressive for an earphone, and I'll say it gives the illusion of things being about, say, 4 to 5 feet away from your ears. It's actually quite shocking how comparable these are to headphones at times in this regard. My other like is pretty much everything that comes in this box. In fact, the box itself is refreshingly different. It's tall, it's thin, and devoid of any waifu artwork. But I think among all of this, the stock cable is the highlight here. It's high quality, it's supple to the touch, and also just thick enough. It resists tangles and microphonics, and with great connections at both ends. The case, might not be super special for what you pay for because it is $300, but it's the perfect size and still has a utility pocket inside to store your knickknacks. I'm sure I'm not the only one who loves the smell of a pair of nice new shoes, right? When you pop open that shoe box, that whiff that hits your nose is quite satisfying in it. And so you probably know where this is going. Yes, the Hype 2 smells like a pair of new shoes, and it's really nice, especially when you unbox it for the first time. The only other audio device in my collection that has the same smell and the same experience, like you're getting high on shoe glue or something, is the Focal Clear MG. And the review for that is coming next month, by the way. I say this a lot. Sound quality doesn't mean jack squat if you can't comfortably enjoy it. And thankfully, ThieAudio made this IEM super comfortable in as well as around your ears. Aside from the audio issues I mentioned earlier, one negative that I can think of is possible QC issues. And I've seen this on Reddit as well as on Amazon, where some owners reported loose components and/or internal rattling, which could also explain other possibly mistaken reports of driver flex. So if you do get a pair of these, the first thing to do when you get them out of the box is tap or shake the housing. You shouldn't hear any chinkling or anything like that. The ThieAudio Hype 2 definitely lives up to its name as well as its pedigree. And also it's $300 asking, thank goodness. And until proven otherwise, this IEM is hands down my favorite. Like not just for the year, but also within my growing collection. So if you want something that looks fantastic, something that traces close to a well-balanced, well-tuned sound profile, but also wish for more low-end spice, the Hype 2 has plenty of that in spades. Listening to music on these just gives me goosebumps, and not because it possesses like reference-grade accuracy, this is really not what it's made for, but rather I'm having so much fun being drawn into every moment of the song with throaty bass thrown in as a wonderful icing on the cake. So yeah, the ThieAudio Hype 2 should be at or near the top of your shopping list along with something like the Moondrop Blessing 3. And personally, I'm also curious to see what ThieAudio does with the next Hype. Well, that's all I got today, guys. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are awesome for watching this. And if you like what I do, remember to thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe down below. And plus, there's another way you can help this channel out as well and show your support. I just launched this new YouTube membership thing. There's only one tier right now. I'm just testing it out. But there are a few perks that you can enjoy. There's frequent photos and status updates. You get member shoutouts and videos as well. And there's also priority replies and comments. And this one is huge because the fact is, GearUP is growing and it's increasingly hard for me to answer every question that comes in, and I enjoy communicating with y'all, and many of you have amazing questions and comments, but it's becoming overwhelming and I'm having to start to prioritize what I answer. So if you like to be at the top of my reply list, be a member. Plus, you'll help out this channel at the same time. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and remember to do something loving and kind for somebody in this world, because guess what? The world needs it more than ever, and it starts with you. I love you all very much. Peace out.